Fellow tennis nerds, I'm here with Sergio, my friend from the Bel-Air, the founder of this club?
The founder of this club was my dad.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. So my dad built this. He was a tennis fan, no, and he came to Marbella, Costa del Sol in 1970. So he actually built the club in 1974.
Oh wow, okay.
And so the club was, very good when they started.
So there was nothing here before?
Nothing here before.
Wow, okay.
Was actually the first facility in the whole urbanization.
Uh-huh.
And then the club, it ran very good the first 10 years, but then it went through a period that was abandoned, no? And actually, I took the club back 24 years ago. And I was quite lucky, no? Kind of was, ran down, abandoned, and I took it back. I started to work very hard and refurbish all the club. To be honest, I don't know now how I did it.
Yeah, because you must have put in so much work then, just to get everything in order.
Absolutely. And now we are here, so it's actually I feel very good from.
You should feel proud, yeah.
My dad, would be very happy.
Yeah. He passed away, or
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, because it's an amazing place for a tennis lover. This is the place I go because I love the familiarity of this place. The courts are good, but it's also like a nice cafeteria. You have a nice energy here. And is that something you always wanted to work on? Like, make sure that it always feels like a homely place to go when you play tennis? And
Absolutely. It's a very, very familiar club, and as well very international. No, so we actually what we do, we try to give a space of happiness to everybody. No, so normally the kids, we have a tennis school with 130 kids more or less. So we know that they come in the afternoons, evenings, so Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday morning. And then we have the mixings, as you know, in the mornings. So doubles, players between 40 and 75 years old coming to play in the mornings, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday.
Yeah,
so they
very
come
busy.
at a different time. And then we offer all the services. We offer for singles player who like to compete a little bit. So we have a singles league. We arrange matches. We do group lessons, individual lessons for everybody. So we try to give for everybody. So I think this is our secret, and everybody's welcome. No.
Yeah, and that's what you really feel here. You really feel like you're welcome here. You feel like it became quickly my favorite tennis club to come to here when I started coming to Marbella, because it's like this very homely energy. You have the food, you have all the courts you need. You have the hard court, you have the clay. You can play paddle, of course. So you have everything here. But was it like a big transition for you? You were playing like on the tour, right? Like ATP tour, no?
Yes.
And then you started a club. So how was that transition for you?
Well, that transition, that was in 1997. I was 27 years old. I met my wife. I realized, it was very tough for me to be traveling. Plus, I wasn't the player I wanted to be. Really, best ranking was 300 when I was 23. That was my best tennis, and then I continued playing until 27, but my ranking dropped really. For circumstances. Every tennis player has a story, and the reason is I continued playing, but I started to play worst for whatever reason. It's a long story. And then I decided to, this opportunity came. It's like my dad told me, well, here is the club, but I don't have it. The bank has it. If you have an agreement with the bank, and in a way, I wanted to do something important that I didn't do in tennis. So I put a lot of energy in the club, especially the first years, working so many hours, and now here we are. And that transition was, that I was playing and I was coaching a junior. And then it came to me the opportunity to start in the club. In the beginning, I felt the weight in my back, like it was a huge responsibility. I remember I felt this big responsibility, but that was, in a way, I had a lot of passion
because you were still quite young for all that responsibility, I would say.
Yeah, exactly. I was 28, 29 years old. It's a mixture between passion and ignorance. I
That's
think
how it happens.
it's very important to be a little bit ignorant because
Absolutely.
then you go for it.
Yeah. I think that's a good point. Like you're naive. You think this is gonna work, but you don't see the problems. Because
Yeah,
everybody's gonna have problems, whatever
yes.
you can undertake. So it's good that you don't see them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is why I'm here. Then I remember I said to this boy, look, I cannot travel with you anymore. Uh, and he went with somebody else,
Yeah.
because for me it was very difficult to travel. Actually, it's very difficult I mean, to run a tennis club and to do tennis professional. Like we have to travel a lot,
Yeah, of course. It's like it's a life of a tennis player because even if you're the coach, you're still traveling as much, pretty much. So I mean, you're going to almost every tournament, maybe not all of them, but at least you're always going to be in a suitcase, kind of. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's lifestyle. Yeah.
here is a lot of responsibility, a lot of people to maintain, a lot of workers and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
clients, and yeah, and I like the club. I love the club. I like my job.
And you still coach here, so it's like you don't
Yes,
coach like you're traveling, but you coach some very good players here that I've
yes,
seen. Yeah.
yes. Especially sometimes the players come here for 1 week,
Yeah.
and I like it. And plus, I have my daughter. My daughter now is doing tennis college,
Oh yeah.
and I mean she has somebody else coaching her, but I guide her since the beginning. No?
Hmm?
And when
She's
she
in the U.S. or?
she's in the
Oh,
US,
okay. Wow.
yeah. Now she's 1,000 in the WTA.
That's very good then.
So
Very good
when
player.
she finishes the college in 2 years, so we will start to invest more money on
Yeah.
her.
How old
And
is she?
she's 20.
Ah, very good. That's a good age as well.
Yeah.
So, what's her name? So,
Victoria.
Victoria Gomez.
Yeah.
Very
Victoria
cool,
Gomez.
very cool. So, yeah, all the best to her. And college is also good. I think I usually talk about this on the podcast that I have and stuff. Is that you get the education. It doesn't feel like tennis is your only option in life. You can get another education. You have a good experience.
Yeah.
It's not like you have to become a tennis professional because that can be a lot of pressure and it's not always good for everyone. It works for some players, but not for everyone.
For her, I think it's perfect actually because she's not very mature, so she's have time now to become more mature and to keep learning tennis. Because now I feel that if she goes to the tour can be very tough
Yes.
psychologically and physically. It can be very tough, and if you're not ready for it, it's difficult.
It's difficult. Yeah, I have so many friends that have been on the tour, left the tour, or just on it right now, and it's a grind for everyone. There's no one that really gets away easily. It's like you travel everywhere. I mean, even the top players of the world that have a very good financial situation, they still struggle with all the travel and all the difference of hotels, new balls, new courts, new everything. It's not an easy life, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely.
So when you went from traveling, playing, did you miss being like on tour, being traveling all the time?
This this transition as well is come the family. You see,
Yeah.
from I think for any tennis player who suddenly decide to have a family, that's a big impact.
Yeah, big commitment. Yeah.
As a tennis player, in general, you are very selfish, and when you have a family, when you have kids, then you say, wow, so now I have to become a normal person.
Yeah.
We all were living in a bubble, tennis players. Family and work is totally different.
Yeah.
So, and plus the club responsibility. Yeah, so it was a big impact. Yeah,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
can imagine. So what is like your dream or vision of this club? I mean, it's an amazing place. Like you have 6 hard courts, like 4 clay courts, 5 paddle courts, and what
For
would
paddle courts.
4 paddle courts. What do you have in the vision? Like you want to have more tournaments here? You're going to plan to have like a ITF, like 15 or 25K?
Yes, yes. So actually, as well as giving all the services for the tennis players, it's true that we are a club that are running a lot of events during the year. So we've been running lots of small events along the year. We have now we have 2 ITF Masters tournament, like seniors.
Yeah, yeah. That I
One
played.
in
Yeah,
May
very
and another one in October. And then we have we used to do a money tournament for all categories in September. We are not doing this now, but now last year we did an ITF $15,000 for first time women's. This year we're going to do it again in May. And then we have tournaments like for the area, local tournaments, federated tournaments, non-federated, social tournaments, doubles tournaments. So we are a club that we do lots of social activities. And yeah, we're proud of it because the people are very happy, and we fly very low always to change things, and so to be able to run an event and run the club at the same time, which is not so easy.
No, no, because the club keeps going and there's an event, and like a lot of people are regulars here. Like they come every day or every week for certain days, and then
Exactly.
like, oh, it's a tournament now. Their life is changed, you know, a little bit.
Exactly,
So
a
yeah,
little bit, and also the fact that since COVID we invest in the new paddle courts, in the hard courts. So I like all the courts are top quality
yeah,
now,
yeah.
which
I
is
can attest to
so
that. Yeah.
we are proud of that as well. The future, you tell me what I would like to do is I would like to grow my $15,000 tournament to a 25 or to a 15,000. We can do one more paddle court. We can do one more tennis court. So I'm looking forward for this to do like a big central court to do even bigger events. So it would be nice for the club to have a big event for women and a big event for men. That
Yeah,
would be
that'll be amazing. Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. And good for the area as well, because like there
Yes.
used to be a challenger and an ATP tournament that was a little bit mixed in between the years. But the guy who was running it, I think he passed away. So I think the Costa del Sol needs also the strong tournaments, you know, because the challenger in Malaga, or was yeah, it was a challenger. It wasn't at the best club. I think you could have done it a little bit better, you know, and stuff like that. So it's good if there's more tennis in this area because you have
Yes,
so many
yes, yes.
players here training.
There will be. There will be. Sooner or later, the professionals are coming more and more to Costa del Sol, and I think this club is ready to host them. So it's I think it's a matter of time.
Yeah, for
Yes.
sure. I mean, like when I'm here, I can see players. I mean, there's Pliskova has been training here. You've had a lot of other pros as well, like that's been coming
Yes,
here. You know.
but Pliskova is the most like the best player who came here to the club. We didn't have Djokovic yet, but maybe one day we will have it.
Yeah, yeah, because he has his own court, and then he's at Puente
Yes,
Romano
yes,
a
yes.
lot. But yes, he could have, of course, come here, and yeah, and I've seen a lot of strong players coming around here. You know, it's like
Yeah.
it's everybody likes the vibe. Everyone I talk to and I bring here because I have a lot of people coming to. Oh, hey, you know, I've seen your channel. I watch your channel. Let's have a hit. And they come here. They're always very happy. They like the vibe. You know, they want to come here again. So it's always nice, a nice place to bring people because you know
Yeah.
you can easily like you can have a beer afterwards. You can have some food
It's
and hang
easy.
around.
It's easy.
Yeah.
And the food actually is very good. It's like we don't have a huge restaurant. We have a bar with like a menu, like the plate of the day.
Yeah, yeah.
But the plate of the day is very good. The tapas are very good. And, you know, the tortilla, Spanish tortilla, is the
Clásico.
best one in town.
Yeah.
So,
What is the most challenging thing about running a club, like from your experience? Now you've been running this for like 24 years. Like what has been like the most challenging? Is it like running the financials, the staff, maintaining courts and like keeping schedules, you know, and stuff like this?
my vision was to don't be specialized, don't specialize in anything. So try to give all the services because it's the same like Costa del Sol, no? In Costa del Sol, if you put a restaurant, only meat restaurant, it's not like in London, for
No,
example, but only meat,
it's fine.
fantastic.
Yeah,
But here you have to have international Mediterranean,
yeah,
no?
yeah.
So this is what we do in tennis. So we are selling tennis and we are selling the sun as well. And I think this is very important to know this. Don't get crazy with, for example, with higher level competition. So we behave the same with a beginner than with a professional.
Yeah.
We treat them all the same, all like persons, and this is important to know. As difficult is difficult with the staff. With the staff, and like we are a small company, so okay, we can be like 25 more or less, which is getting bigger. And it's difficult to always please everybody, you know. At the end of the day, you're trying to please everybody, that everything goes well, and you have to calculate well with the finance.
Yeah, it's tough, huh?
You have to spend always to improve. So we have been improving the club. So spending money, a lot of money every year in renovating the club. But the response of the people has been fantastic.
That makes it obviously easier that you
Yes,
feel like okay,
yes,
people are happy, they're
yes.
appreciating the work that's been done, and you know the courts are of good quality, so people will happily come here because you have a choice of clubs in the area. But this one, like I mean, I've been playing at every club, and this is the one I come to the most, you know. So it's like it becomes kind of a clear choice for everyone where they want to go, you know, if you have a good facility.
No, thank you.
I wanted to ask you because this is a racket nerd channel in many ways, but we're doing also many other things. I wanted to ask you about your racket because you're playing with a racket that I think a lot of people can use. And you're a very, very good player. Obviously, you played on the tour, and you're hitting with very strong players. But it's kind of like a thing of showing like you use a racket that gives you a little bit of help. You know, do you have a?
Yes, actually, it's the Wilson 104.
Yeah.
You see, I started with this racket like 12 years ago, and before this racket used to be a little bit more flexible, and I guess I was looking for a little bit more help. So this racket is a little bit longer, so that was the most difficult to adapt that to a racket that is a bit longer. So it's not so easy to manipulate when you are in defense, when you have the racket a bit longer. But in return, the racket is giving me this extra length, and the racket is feeling the ball, with the flexibility. But now this model, this last model of Wilson, they decided to make it a little bit more stiff, and but it has a little bit more power, I would say. So it's more thankful when I hit it a little bit more flat.
Yep.
And yeah, I kind of at the beginning had some doubts if to continue with this model or not, because it was different than all the others.
Yeah, of course, it's a big change.
But I decided, look, let's play more flat, and let's go with it. And now I'm very happy. So it just lasted 1 or 2 months till I got my defense shot on the court.
Yeah.
And I'm quite happy with it.
Yeah, I think also it's good learning is that people need to adjust. Like I can never do it because of what I do, but it's like you need to really adjust to the racket and give it time. If you first you have to have a feeling, okay, I like this is good, this is what I like from a racket, but then some shots will not work maybe 100%, and then you have to actually adjust and give it time.
There's always an answer.
Yeah.
Because if you get stuck in the past, I mean, with the new racket, it will never be the same. You have to be open-minded. Sometimes, yeah. And I put a little bit of lead just to have this.
Yeah, because it's quite light racket, so you need a little bit more stability against these players.
It's a light racket, yeah. It's a light racket.
And you, before you told me you used to play with the Yonex RD7 when you were competing.
RD7 with Yonex, yeah. For
like Sergio Gomez-Barrio, I think. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So this racket actually very similar to this one. Okay, except it's a 100.
Yeah.
And it's heavier. So that racket has power and feeling as well. So I was always in the middle of this prototype of racket. I enjoyed a lot playing with RD7. And,
it's a very unique racket because it had such a low stiffness rating, but it still had pretty good power.
Yeah.
And you could generate a lot of spin with that racket. It was very kind of spin friendly. I mean, you look at Berruguera when he's playing with a multi-filament string. They didn't use polyester strings when he was at the tour, I think. And then he could still generate so much spin. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So that's a good racket. Well, what did you use after that? Then you went to the Wilson.
I went RD7 Wilson. Before that, I was playing with Dunlop, the same Dunlop than Fabrice Santoro. I don't remember the model now, but actually I played my best tennis with this Dunlop. And then before, I also played with the Wilson. I think it was the Pro Staff 6.0.
Yeah, one maybe. Yeah, 6.0. Yeah, the 6 points. Yeah, and 0.95.
I played a couple of years with the Wilson, a couple of years with the Dunlop. I enjoy my tennis with my rackets. If you put me the racket, I remember what I was. I play, and my memories is with the rackets.
It's a strong connection to the player because, like, if you have a racket history, which most players have, it's like, okay, when I used this racket, this was this year when I did this. And
absolutely, it's very connected.
Yeah, very connected. That's what's interesting with the rackets because that's what we tennis players have. We don't have anything else. It's the racket is the main tool, right? So this is what we use.
Yeah.
But you still play some tournaments when your body says okay,
When my body says okay, I like to play tournaments, not singles tournaments anymore. So I like the social part of it. So it's like team matches, no?
Yeah.
And
interclub and stuff like that.
Exactly. Or even sometimes I go with the Spanish team for the World Cup. So when they call me, and been there like 4 or 5 times, I enjoy very much because it's like a week of holidays and you meet the old friends.
Yeah.
It's very nice actually to play these events, but always in teams.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like anymore to go on my own for a tournament unless my wife comes with me.
It becomes like a trip, family
yes,
trip.
Yes. Otherwise, what am I doing here on my own trying? So this competition feeling, it's a little bit mixed up, no?
Yeah.
So
it's a social but competitive, and also I think a lot of tennis players struggle sometimes with the aspect of playing only singles because, like, you can see with guys like Kyrgios or whatever, that they thrive more in doubles or in teams because they want to feel like they belong to something, they fight for someone else besides just themselves. And while some players are more happy to be just them and not play doubles, not worry about the team standings and stuff. But the team makes a big. I think it's a lot of players enjoy it. You know,
Gives you motivation when you're not playing the team. So gives you the motivation to practice, to be in shape, to be with them.
yeah.
You know, and yeah, this help a lot too. So I recommend everybody to belong to a team because during the low season they will be very motivated to practice, to be in good shape. So when the team comes, even if it's just 4 matches in the year,
Yeah.
that's enough to be motivated the whole year.
Yeah, and team tennis is pretty big in other parts of Europe. I don't know how it is in Spain really, but in Sweden it's huge with team tennis. That's what we do. Like it's the leagues that go through like the year is quite important. In Germany, obviously,
In Germany,
France, you know,
in France,
Italy.
in Spain, especially in the cities. It's true that in the south of Spain there is less team matches than in the north and middle and east of Spain. But yeah, there is a like a league in Malaga. There's a not a federated league, a non-professional league for club players, and they play every year. So you can play in Malaga, you can play in Andalusia. So we play for Andalusia and Spain.
Yeah.
No, and actually, I belong to a team that we are playing in the second division of over 40s and first division over 45s.
Okay.
That
Very
is
good then.
going to be tough. So I think they will probably kick our asses, but it will be a nice experience.
Yeah, sometimes you have to play up a little bit as well, like play tougher opponents. You shouldn't do too much. I think it's that there's even like in this coaching seminar that the ATP gives, it's like if your player plays like a tougher opponent, don't give him another tougher opponent. Like if you can arrange matches, you have to give him then a level down so you win back confidence, you know. And then if you lose again, you have to go down because like the confidence starts going in tennis. It's everything, right?
Yeah, confidence is very important.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, nice to hear about the club. I hope to see it thrive in the coming years. I will be here a lot playing, so I will see you around. And if whenever you want to hit, I'm here. Nice talking to you, as always, Sergio.
Same. Thank you. Thank you.